Yo guys, this is Andy here. I want to show you a really quick mixdown and how to avoid an ear rape. So we'll just render this out so we know how it sounds before and after. So we'll just bounce it like before. Let's play this first of all to see how it sounds. It's like you can't even hear this element right here. Because it's so quiet. So let's just work. I will start with a kick drum. Sometimes I EQ my kick drums, but not much, as you can see. Which I learned from Virtual Riot live streams is that he reduces some frequencies in the mid-range, because most of the mid-range is needed for some other synths or pianos. And what I also often do is just compress it, just to make it a little bit more like saturated. This is why I have the soft clip knob activated. Most of the time I got a maximizer on my master, so I already get a feeling like how the track could sound in the end. What I often do is set the kick drum to -6 decibels just as a standard volume so I can work with it, and I still got headroom for like if I need some more space in the mix. I got these 6 decibels left. I always put my master on 0 decibels, but I kind of forgot it to set to 0. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, I think we'll just forget the clap because the lead is even more annoying. It's way too loud. It's not EQ'd or sidechained at all, so let's just do that. And give it some sidechain too. And it also sounds really dry, so we'll just add some reverb. And some dimension expander too. Okay, now it has enough room for now. Let's just listen again how loud it actually is. Actually it's pretty okay right now because it's sidechained, but I will just turn it down a little so we got more room for the bass and stuff in the end. Maybe reduce some of the sidechain. Now we can have a look at the clap, because now this is the most annoying sound at the moment. It seems like the right side of the channels from the claps have more high end than the left channel, or maybe I am deaf on my left ear, but I'm not sure. So let's just set it in mono and we know. Yeah, in mono it sounds pretty normal. And if I deactivate it, or even set it to the left, now my headphones actually work, and so my ears. So I will just set it in mono again, EQ it real quick. And the classic simple delay trick, I already showed it in another video I made some weeks ago. It's called Wider. If you want, you can check it out. I show some more widening techniques, like how you can widen up some more sounds. The reason I talk so quiet is because it's like 4 AM in the morning. Right, let's listen to it, like how it sounds at the moment. Okay, the clap is still too loud. That's okay. Let's have a look at the hi-hats also. Okay, this is total ear rape. Let's just reduce it first of all. Ach du Sch high pass some low frequencies because we just don't need them. At least I don't need it. Maybe some orchestral producers need them to make it sound more real, but in electronic dance music I don't think that we need it. Maybe some room, but not much. Okay, this ARP is annoying as fuck. Let's just EQ it and give it some sidechain compression. But I also see, like, this is a preset actually. And as you can see in the output is like way too loud. And one thing I mostly do is take a glue compressor, or you could also take a limiter, but I think the glue compressor is pretty decent. What I do with a glue compressor is use the threshold to reduce the volume, which is too high, from the preset first. And if I reduce too much, I will just activate the soft clip knob and try to push it against the softer brick wall, so it's first of all a little bit compressed, which is not bad because it gives some of saturation, but also I get control over the volume, and I know that if I set this fader at 0 dB, I know it is 0 dB and not 2 decibels or minus 4 decibels. So this is a pretty good trick, which I use pretty often. I always look at those bars. You can see like the peaks are bouncing around, and when the peaks aren't bouncing that much anymore, this is the time where I stop with the makeup knob. Something like this. Adding some sidechain just to clean it up. Turning it down because it's way too loud. That's okay, but it's still pretty dry. And because this is a return channel, of course if I send something into the return channel, it gets a little bit louder. So if I turn something up here, I need to turn something down right here again. This one is too quiet. You can barely hear it. Let's just cue it first of all, because it still has some low end, which we don't need because the bass is the element which takes the most space. The same technique here too. I know many people who say, the makeup knob isn't a gain knob. Technically, it is a gain knob because what it does is turning up the volume, so okay. Alright, we added some more room to this stabby kind of sound. The only thing we need to do now is the bass. It isn't sidechained at all and stuff. But it still interferes with the kick drum because there is no sidechain compression. So we'll just add some sidechain to it. What What I also do sometimes is adding some dimension expander to the bass, but make sure that the dimension expander is high cutted afterwards. This is also a tip which I showed already in my EQing video, where I explained where you can use EQs and how they work. If you want, you can check this out too. I will just put the link into the description. It doesn't matter how much input I will throw into the dimension expander because I high cut the bass, and therefore it won't interfere with the kick drum. Almost sounds like an old school massive preset everybody used back then in 2014 when Future House came out. Boom, yeah. Okay, maybe the hi-hat is too loud again. And when you have a mix something like this, you can play around with panning, automations with panning or anything like that. I want to widen up the hi-hat. Let's just do the other way around, so the clap plays in mono and the hi-hats do the opposite. It gives another feeling, so why not trying out? And also this element is too quiet when the kick drum hits in every beat, so we'll just take down the threshold from the sidechain compressor so you can also hear it when it plays notes on the actual beats. I think I will just save it right now and then we can compare it at the end. Alright, we got the two versions right now next to each other. We can hear two things, especially the kick drum and this quiet element we had before. Now you can actually hear the steady synth, which you didn't hear before. The kick drum is way thumpier and the bass is a lot cleaner and has more space. The version before sounds like a cluttered bunch of shit. The version afterwards sounds like something with room and punch. In my eyes, this is very important. So the most important parts were actually to check the volumes before actual mixing. Like if something is too loud, just turn it down and maybe compress it first of all and then mix it in. Or if something is too quiet, compress it and then mix it. Like first checking volume and then mixing. And EQing and giving some room to some of the synths. Some room, not too much room at the beginning, so you get a impression like what your track actually needs, and to have a solid start when producing. So if you guys have any suggestions what topics I could talk about, just leave something in the comment section, because I actually read the comments. Otherwise I still got some topics in mind, but if you prefer something that I should talk about, let me know. And yeah, have a dope day.